it's he's gone, and
But
I love
your dad
the
got to
pieces,
pay.
you
You
know.
got to pay.
Well, yeah, he's gonna have to pay. You do
Yeah.
do the dirt, you do the time. I mean, you do the crime, you gotta do the time, unless you get a pardon, pardon. I mean, you get a pardon, you get a pardon. I don't know. All I know is it's time to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
You're listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Pardon.
And I'd like you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs, customize that cutting board, get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
Welcome to Morningstar Boutique, where the sun is shining and the style is all about you, your beauty, confidence, and individuality. Whether that's your perfect summer dress, a chic jumpsuit, or outfit you didn't know you needed, we've got you. Stop by ourplugs.com and check us out. We'll see you soon.
Opal May Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opal May Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day. And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We're still going over our news you can use, and I was just touching on a couple things. Just one more thing that I wanted to mention. I hear that Trump and Putin, the man with the dead hand and Putin, Trump and Putin, are at odds. What could ever be the problem? Why are
Well, I
they
think it's
so
more
upset
so.
with each other?
I think it's more so Rump is arguing by itself. Pootie ain't never too much cared about what he had to say or anything like that. They pretty much just ignores them and go ahead and send them bombs over there. He don't care.
Yeah.
He never pretty much responded or answered any of those fake uh, demands, tweets, the weird sundown tweets and stuff.
I mean,
Putin didn't care nothing about that.
he's not going to just sit up here and explain himself. Last week you had the South African president in there showing him slideshows. Look. Putin is like looking at him like, look at this fool. I
Look at
can't.
this idiot, right?
Them Americans are sure are something special, aren't they? They just believe anything. Not us, not us. But it looks like the girls are fighting, and Elonia, he's quiet. I guess he's saying he's gonna keep his mouth shut because he done already lost enough.
I
He's
thought
big,
he was
right?
on his way out the door anyway, so.
Well, he said he's not. He's gonna stay out of politics. He said he spent enough money on politics. You think? Did nobody even ask you to say anything? Hey, Matt. Who is that? Melbo? Is that Melbo out there, Matto? Thank you for the compliments out there on our YouTube. We appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to. I know Trump promised. I use that word loosely. Promised that he would actually stop the war, and Pootie is saying, "You don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna drop bombs on him whenever I want to," and that's what he did
Yeah,
last
yeah.
week. And I guess Trumpy is upset
Mm-hmm.
because what he says goes, and nobody's listening. Oh wow. What do you expect?
Well, hey, what you say? You get what you get. You don't have to fit. This is, I mean, nobody pays any attention to you. So this is where we at.
Why should anybody pay any attention to you? You don't make any sense. Somebody
Nobody
tell
cares. They don't
go give
care.
grandpa a popsicle and put him in front of the TV and with the remote control and take his phone and switch it out with that phone that you give for the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds where you push the button and the whole phone lights up. Give him one of them. He should be all right. Cause
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
You
got a few
need
stories. I
him.
know I'm gonna go quick because
Go
we
ahead.
got to bring up. So again, Trump is attacking Harvard because allegedly his son couldn't get in it. Like
'Cause he's not smart enough.
Obama's daughter.
Obama's daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not
But
smart enough.
anyway, that's allegedly. But he tried to do a block for enrolling international students, but a judge just temporarily blocked that executive order. Said, nope, you can't do that. So Harvard is in the process of suing him. And while they're in the process of suing him, he then takes money that was granted to Harvard and blocks money, federal money. So he's doing, and a lot of this stuff, is probably going to get challenged in court, as normal, as usual. This is a class act. This is a class act. This is not a president of the United States. This is not
Classless.
a serious man.
He's a
This,
classless act.
yeah, just a whole platoon of a fool. So while he's attacking Harvard,
Of
a
all
school full of law students and law professors, people who know the law, Harvard is offering free classes, guys, for
Hello.
people who want to learn about the democracy, want to learn about the 3 branches of government, things like that. So I suggest y'all go on to Google, get your little Google fingers working, and see if you can sign up for a class. It's 30-day free classes. Harvard is petty. I love it.
I love it. Harvard is my type of
Petty.
petty.
I love
You got a
it.
problem? You really be mad.
Constitution. Yes, they're teaching the Constitution.
Yes, and I love that for them. I also heard that there is going to be a big push because there's going to be a huge need for plumbers and electricians within the next 5 years. And I implore everyone that can hear my voice, male or female, you can go get your certification, go start with a small company, see how the operation works.
Yeah.
And then start your
That's a
own
bomb
business.
trade.
That is a bomb trade. Because if there's a shortage and there's not enough people to facilitate the needs of so many people who may have electrical issues, who may have a plumbing issue, you pretty much can name your price.
Well, think about it. FEMA is gone. And when people have natural disasters and things and they need plumbing and they are going to need some electrical work back done, that's the hit. That's your gig.
That's the lick right
That's
there.
the lick right there. So yeah, I encourage people to do that. That's amazing.
Please do it.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Some good news. I'm gonna read this story that I read real quick. A homeless Black teen living in his car graduates from high school, earns full ride college scholarships. So a young man by the name of Max Jones, a 19-year-old African-American teen from Richmond, Virginia, once lived in his car while finishing high school. With help from teachers and local pastors, he is now set to graduate and receive a full scholarship offer from several colleges.
That's beautiful.
He grew up in North Carolina where he faced constant financial hardships and instability, house living with his mother and half siblings. Wanting to better his future, he decided to jump on a bus, go to Richmond, and enroll in high school. I don't know how he did all that without parents, but he did it, apparently.
He did it. Because
without a permanent home, he ended up living in his car. He had no access to basic needs like regular shower and consistent meals. His clothes, he said, were never clean. They were never clean. They were never dirty. He was just wearing the same old sweats and joggers and Crocs. And you know, that's sad, you
It
know, but
is.
he put
Breaks my heart.
himself, yeah, he pushed himself through and ended up, you know, coming out on the better end. So kudos to him. I'm proud of him for
Yes.
pushing through hard times, and now you got a full ride college scholarship. So he
Yeah.
had to have good
Smart.
grades.
Well, you know, if he is determined enough to get on the bus and go and do what he needs to do so he can go back to school, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, that young man. You know, I love to hear stories, although it's hard to listen to because, you know, we're mothers. So we want to reach out and help all of these young
Mm-hmm.
people. But where there's a will, there's a way. And he figured it out and made a way for himself. And that's called endurance. Nothing's
I
going to
know
stop.
that's right.
No, that's
And just shout out to the pastor at Robert Winfrey from New Life Deliverance Tabernacle. He when they found out his situation, they went on and opened up the church cottage to him, providing food and clean bathroom and safe place to sleep. So
that's amazing. And that's what churches are
that's
supposed
what they're
to
supposed to
do.
do, you know.
Because I remember a church here in Houston where when we had a hurricane, they refused to let people in. And that's a multi
And it was the mega one,
billion,
huh?
yes, a mega church. Osteen. I never forget. People don't forget.
I ain't forget either. I
I'll
remember
never
that.
forget that. No. Or
Mm.
will, or shall I forgive? That's God's job to forgive. I ain't gotta forgive. I'm gonna talk about you every chance I get because you was wrong for that. All the money people spend and
And
have
still
given you,
spin.
and still and you got 3 and 4 homes, mansions, and you couldn't open up your doors to people, and we were drowning in Houston.
Drowning.
I'm gonna be
Lost
quiet.
everything. Everything.
Everything, and you couldn't open up your doors. I'm gonna be
Hmm.
quiet. I'm gonna be quiet.
Anyway.
That's what a church is
Um,
supposed to do.
yeah. We can start bringing them up. Just I would just want to let y'all know, 2 of them still on the run.
Yeah, 2
Louisiana,
of them still on the run.
run, boys, run. They running.
No, well, I don't know, because if they murderers, go back to
I
jail.
don't know where they
Out
go
here.
catch them, but
Yeah,
the
I don't
boys is
know.
running.
You know, I was listening to this. I was listening to one story, and I laugh because I have a sense of humor sometimes. But I was listening to one story where, you know, some people had done something. I'm like, why are they still in the city? If I do something and I know that I'm going to go to jail, I'm not staying in the city.
I don't know if the 2 that's out.
On.
I'm trying to figure out the 2 that's still free. They might be in Mexico. I don't know. I mean, that's the closest out of the country to where we are,
I
Mexico.
would be out of here. Do you hear me? I am
And you know
running.
it's a video and they playing this song called Run In Run, and it's just too funny. And I'm
I
like,
just
I
can't.
can't with y'all. I can't with the internet. Y'all too unserious for me.
Unserious. And we have someone unserious in our chat on YouTube as well, because T Wiz just said that they have never caught her uncle. I'm sick of you, T Wiz.
Wait a minute. Not
T-Wiz
Uncle Shirt. What's his name?
and Shirt Tails.
Not Uncle Shirt Tail.
Shirt Tails. Uncle Shirt Tails was on the run
Come
too.
on, T Wiz now. Don't tell me it's Uncle Shirt Tail.
Uncle Shirt Tails was on the run. Y'all, so y'all, I know y'all are like, what are they talking about? Well, so we are TikTok creators, so we're on
Yeah, so we have a
TikTok.
lot of content and things that happen on TikTok. That's why I tell y'all, come on over to the TikTok side sometimes. You might want to hear some good laughs with some good creators, because it'd be funny stuff happening.
Because
good stories.
Good stories, good wholesome stories, but you will leave in tears. Let's go ahead and bring our
holding your
guest
stomach, cracking up. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring up.
I've been trying to hold my laughter.
I know you are. Hey, Miss Shanika, how you doing, Mrs. Jack?
Good morning, Mrs.
Good
Jack.
morning.
Good
How
morning,
is everybody
honey.
doing?
Doing okay.
If they come on our TikTok, you will definitely be entertained. If nothing else, you'll be entertained. You will definitely get some good information. You may hear something you haven't heard on the radio. We know the story about Oh no.
Yes, she said that Uncle
Shirt tail.
He gone to the glory,
gone
baby. He gone to be with the
he's an ancestor now.
That's right.
Rest in peace, Uncle Shirt.
R.I.P. Shirt tail. We love your name.
These are some of the stories we get to hear on TikTok, y'all. So
yeah.
Please stop by. Come by Our Plugs LLC. We have a TikTok there. Come by. My TikTok is Sparkle Kicks LLC. Miss Morningstar, hers is her name, and DJ Kitty. Does it have 50 on the end?
DJ Kitty is mine.
Where do I get 50 from?
DJ Kitty Cat 50.
Okay, there you go.
That's my whole name.
That's the whole
TikTok names.
These are TikTok names. We can go ahead and bring Reggie up too.
Okay.
He's gonna contribute into the
conversation. Come on, Reggie. What up, brother?
Hey,
Reggie. Hey, Reggie. You're on mute, baby. We can't hear you.
Hello, WKRA listening audience, Ms. Morningstar, DJ Kitty, and our other host, Miss Jackie. How are you guys doing?
Good. We're doing great.
You wanted to call her cute, didn't you?
Don't start.
Don't start. All right.
Don't get me in trouble.
I'm not gonna start today. I'm gonna be good today. You know, we just came off our holiday. So
right.
Today our subject is something that I actually want to hear. It's managing triggers. So I'm truly interested in this.
I'm intrigued because I need to learn. You got 4 steps?
I have four parts of the process of managing.
So I'm gonna have to enter myself into the program.
Let me get my pen right.
Okay.
I got a little triggered on Friday, but
okay. But we're better now.
It's gonna be hard.
You know, it's not gonna be hard. We're gonna be just fine.
Blink twice.
Get through it. We're gonna get through it. Like get through everything else.
Okay. So the first step for managing triggers is to identify the trigger, right? You have to pay attention to your body and mind and notice what physical sensations and thoughts that accompany your triggers and the reactions you get. When I was getting tested for migraines, they sent me home with a journal. And not knowing all the triggers for migraines, it was like a food journal. What do you do during the day? What do you eat during the day? And I'm just confused, like, why do y'all need to know all these? And they told me that different things can trigger migraines. Same thing when I was having therapy for PTSD. It was the same thing. You know, they wanted to know, we got to figure out so that you can understand what triggers you, what sensations you feel, so that you can start to manage it. You can't manage it unless you know when one is going to start. Same thing as the migraines. They would send me home with certain medication to try to hinder the migraine before I got home and then take the actual migraine medication. So that's the first step. You got to identify what's causing it and then how you feel when it starts to be caused. So imagine if your trigger is a person or your trigger is a feeling of panic or anxiety. You got to know how your body starts to feel to know when a trigger is coming on. And I see you moving, Kitty.
Now the folks out the radio land, they don't even know that I'm moving. Hush up. We don't just keep going. I'm not moving. I'm just trying to, take it all in.
Well, that was going to be my question for you: is have you guys identified what some of your actual triggers are?
Liars.
My trigger is
liars. And how does it make you feel when you are around a liar? What reaction, what physical sensations do you get?
How does it make you feel when you're on fire? I'm sorry.
We got to keep it clean on the radio.
We do have
but it definitely is not a good feeling, especially when I know for a fact, no reasonable doubt, that person is just lying.
You have
it makes me angry.
Yeah, you have
anger is your feeling.
Yeah. I feel a rise in the
heat.
The heat brings on and the trigger sends trigger signals to my brain and make me want to say a lot of things.
I think snap, crackle, and pop might be appropriate. Snap,
0
crackle,
sound like Rice Krispies.
Yeah, snap, crackle, and pop.
It is.
What about
And
you?
I've never, y'all can come on, y'all can roll with me. Being, and I'm blaming on being a Capricorn, I never found that middle part to balance because I am either this way or I'm here.
Yeah. I always say for Capricorns, we have level 1 and 10. There is no in between. It's best to keep us at 1 because we don't know how to like get to the steps to calm down in between. So
That's why I try to stay here
mhm.
because and I get people are liars, and it's not. I don't think it's just the fact of a liar because people gonna lie. Okay, people
Yeah,
gonna
that's
Right.
lie, but I think it's the bold face, intentional,
bald face lie.
bald face, bad built body face lie.
For example, our current POTUS.
Anywho, because let's go ahead and go to
So,
me.
Kitty, what are yours?
My trigger is
Let me get a sip of water.
Is what?
my trigger is people who are intelligent adjacent, who are not smart, people who are unintelligent. And I hate that. And don't get me wrong, I know that there are different levels that people learn at. There are different levels, but I need people to be able to, for me, if you're going to have a conversation with me, be able to comprehend quickly. Quickly. You ever talk to somebody and they just can't comprehend? You
So you
say
don't like speaking to
one,
people that's not on the same. They're not even understanding what the conversation you're having has gone over their head.
Can't get right.
can't. So that's a trigger for me because I don't want to talk. If I see that I'm having a conversation with somebody who's just not there, it's going to. I don't get angry. I feel like it's a fight or flight situation, and I'm not going to fight, but I'm going to remove myself from that situation because I truly, and this is just my own phobia, I feel that when you hang around people who aren't intelligent, it lowers your IQ as well.
I don't think it lowers your IQ. It
It
just makes
does
you don't.
because
It
you
just
have
makes you not want to
no.
continue with the
Listen.
conversation anymore because it's like
If
you get to a
if
point where I'm wasting words because why am I having? You feel like
I'm
why am I
wasting words, but if
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and somebody asks me, why don't I talk to Mag? And I'm just going to bring up this conversation. She's in the chat. Love you, sis. Love you, young lady, Sanai. Why don't I want to talk to MAGA? And I just can't. I don't have it in me because people can tell you anything, but if you don't have enough common logical sense to see that what they're saying is a lie and you perpetuate and feed into that lie and continue to stand on because I'm going to stand on this lie, I won't talk to
Mhm.
you. I feel like
There's
I'm
a lack of critical thinking. And so when you're talking to people that don't even have the critical aspect of actually being able to find out for themselves if something is true or not, and they just repeat
just
stuff
go
they've
with it.
heard. Right. You can't have a conversation with somebody like that. It's hard.
And you know what, guys, just to kind of pivot onto that, a lot of people sign on to something that, in our opinion, DJ Kitty, makes no sense because it validates the pain that they are in, that they're trying to project onto other people to cause other people to feel pain. So
Mhm.
it's like, oh, I can cause someone else pain. Okay, I'm signing off on that. I'm rocking with that,
Mm-hmm.
even if
So,
it makes no sense.
so what I'm hearing is they do it intentionally to get under people like that have issues with that under our skin. And for that, that's why I don't talk to them because I feel like no one can be this stupid.
They prove us wrong time and time again.
And when you're having that conversation, for instance, when you're on a panel and you're listening to somebody and you're like, I, you really, so I'm not even being funny. You really believe that? And they're like, yeah. And then I don't feel the need to correct them. I feel the need to remove myself, because there's no fixing stupid.
Why? Exactly.
So
I can agree with that, because you do start. I mean, think about it. You arguing with the person, and you're
Right.
trying to explain something to them. First of all, you consuming a lot of energy. You losing a lot of energy.
Exactly.
You feel tired. You feel drained. Now I feel like I lost some brain cells because I've
Exactly.
been sitting up here trying to explain 2 + 2 = 4, not 10. You know, 1 + 2 = 3. 1 + 1 is 2. I mean,
now it's changing your energy too, because now you're getting
Right.
frustrated.
exactly.
Exactly.
It is.
So I get it.
I'd rather flee than to
Yeah.
hold a useless conversation. So, yeah.
It's trying to convince a cat to bark.
There you go.
Because somebody else told them that cats bark.
Cats bark.
It should happen if you do this.
Yes.
I mean, this should work. It's going to happen. They're going to bark.
Should work out now.
If you
Keep
do
holding on. They're
steps.
going to bark any second now. Any second.
Exactly.
Barking. And, so no. What's number 2? Were you going to ask Reggie this? Oh,
yes, I was going to ask Reggie.
Well, let's ask Reggie when we come back, because we have to take
Okay.
commercial
Okay,
break.
great.
So
Okay, great.
Just a few minutes. You are listening to WKRA 92.7, The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Hey guys, yes, this uplift those families that are struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciated. God bless.
Let's be real. Being a woman means juggling everything: careers, families, goals, and somehow our health ends up last on the list. But what if your wellness came first? At Nutrition You Design, we believe healthy living shouldn't be complicated. From custom meal plans to one-on-one coaching and specialized lab testing, we're here to help you fuel your body and feel amazing every day. It's not about dieting, it's about thriving. It's about energy, balance, confidence, you. So if you're ready to feel stronger, healthier, and in control of your nutrition, let's do this together. Contact Nutrition You Design today and design a healthier you.
Hello, fellow taxpayers. I'm Andre Martinez, and as the founding owner of EA Tax Pros, I can honestly tell you that our clients trust our team of highly skilled and experienced accountants. Why? Because we work with a passion to keep your money in your pockets, and we keep filing taxes simple, regardless of any situation. And let's be honest, taxes are not everyone's favorite. That's why, as a multi-service accounting firm, our professional accountants have a deep understanding in all areas of accounting, and as well as tax planning, preparation, and resolving your tax issues. We lead the way of effectively utilizing the tax regulations and IRS codes to help our clients clearly identify the path of their personal, nonprofit, and business goals. So, if you don't know how to start your business or your nonprofit, we welcome you to the EA Tax Pros team, and you will have access to our enrolled agents who have earned the highest certification of the IRS, as well as CPAs, certified acceptance agents, and QuickBooks certified pro advisors. So give us a call, 713-496-0262, or you can visit us at ea-taxpros.com. So come join the team that taxpayers trust. Also, don't forget to check out ourplugs.com, a community built with culture.
You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We are back, and I think we were asking Reggie. Are you asking Reggie what his triggers are?
Yes.
Go ahead, Reggie.
Yeah, so I have two main triggers. The first trigger is when people assume that because I've chosen peace and to be generous, that I am in some way weak and that I cannot step to them and match energy,
Okay.
which is usually a really, really terrible assumption that anyone can make about me. And the second one is that because I choose to lead with peace and generosity, when someone brings me negativity and problems, when I haven't provoked that, and again, I have to step into the other. I have to step into the other energy to deal with that. I don't like doing that because again, I've chosen to be peaceful.
I'm trying to be peaceful.
Sometimes people they just need to see the dog show up. I don't know why, but
Every once in a while, because we're at a certain age in life where it's just like, I'm not doing all that. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not
exactly.
Why they gotta be
So
like that?
unnecessary.
Why do people gotta try to push that
because
button?
they haven't matured and gotten to that level in life
Exactly.
yet.
Yeah. Especially when you mess with somebody, because we usually think the calm, quiet people, the meek people. So they thinking, he's so calm, he's so nice, he a punk,
Right. And I don't. I'm sorry. Did you get it? And I don't lose. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Good. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying far from it, but you go right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I don't lose control, but I basically just have to use you have to match energy and use my words. And sometimes it's just the silence that, that really speaks volumes. I use silence a lot.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever have to speak to you again as long as I live, and I will be okay. And I pray that you will be okay. I think a lot of people get that misconception that when you guys, you may have a misunderstanding, whatever the case may be, and you stop talking to them. They get the misconception that, oh, well, they must be weak if they stop talking. No, it's more along the lines of I've got better things to do than go back and forth with anyone, especially you. So I'm going to stay quiet. My mother always told me that the best way to get back at anyone on this planet is to stop talking to them.
Yeah, withdrawing your energy.
They lose their mind trying to figure out why you stopped talking to them.
Yes.
And a lot of times in those situations, I'll choose silence because if I use my words, you won't fare well in that interaction.
Yeah.
So is even choosing silence for me is choosing peace for you. You know what I'm saying? Because so those are my triggers.
Silence for me is peace
It's
for
choosing peace for you. There you go.
Oh,
That's a bar. Those are bars. That's a bar right there. Miss Jack, I see you. I see you, Miss Jack.
All right,
yeah.
so we all went through number one. So okay. What's number two?
I didn't tell you my triggers.
Oh, I'm sorry, my
bad. I mean, I have PTSD. I have a lot of triggers, but one of my main ones is I do not like when people raise their voice when they're talking to me. I get in self-defense mode immediately because I just immediately feel threatened. So my first instinct is to stand my ground and to figure out, how I'm about to handle this situation, because I have to tell you to calm down while you're speaking to me, or I'm just going to start tuning you out and not listening anyway. But I just feel immediately like you're being aggressive or threatened. So that's one of my main triggers right there. All right, so we identified the triggers of the group. The second one is you have to start managing your reactions. Acknowledge your feelings. Don't suppress them or deny your emotions, but rather allow yourself to experience them. And then you're going to take a breath. Deep, slow breathing can help calm your nervous system and interrupt the stress response. You know, your parents, some parents, I'm that gentle parenting where they start counting, and it's
Yes.
either save the life of the child or to save the life of the parent. Because one of them is stressed out, and you start calming yourself and counting. It's going to get you to take a break from that feeling that you're feeling right then, and try to calm yourself down. So that's the second part. Acknowledge your feelings, because if you try to hide them and keep them down, it's going to come out, but it's going to come out the wrong way, and you're going to make the situation a whole lot worse. Right. So
I agree.
feel the emotions. Just like we tell people, you tell your kids to come up and tell mommy and daddy how you feeling. Let it out, cry if you have to, because we need to let you express it. So you got to express that, you are how you're feeling. Tell the person, hey, you just triggered something. You just made me upset. And I always say to tell the other person how whatever they said affected you, because one, they'll know. And they'll know you told them. So they can't come back and say, well, I never knew that triggered you. Well, I told you when you did it. Right? All right. So that was number 2. Now we're going to seek a strategy. Seek professional help. I went to therapy. I graduated after 10 years. I had PTSD mental health therapy for a long time. And our lives are so different. Everything changes. The way you feel this month might not be how you feel next month. You may have something happen this year that may not happen next year. You're going to go through a whole lot of changes. So I had a whole lot of like ups and downs, and therapy can provide tools for understanding and managing your triggers, especially if they're related to trauma. You need a specialist to help you deal with trauma therapy. Triggers for like trigger warning, SA, and things like domestic violence. Those people have different levels of triggers. So they need professionals to actually help them manage the triggers. It's not something you can go to your friend about and talk about. That's something you actually need to go seek a professional help for. You also have to practice self-compassion, be kind and understanding towards yourself when you're triggered, and recognize that your feelings are valid. The one thing we all hate as women is to tell us to calm down when we're upset.
Ooh, baby, that's a fight right there.
You might as well use every other word in the dictionary except those set of words when I'm already mad, or I'm already upset, or I've already been triggered. Tell me to calm down. It's like pouring fuel on a fire.
It is.
It really, and people don't understand why. It's like you're not acknowledging why I'm frustrated. You're trying to put it off as something else, but I need you to understand that I'm frustrated. I'm triggered. You made me that way, and we got to figure out how to work that out.
Absolutely. I agree with that 1,000%. And don't discount my feelings, because I feel like when someone says, oh, you need to calm down, especially, and when things are happening and someone says, you calm down. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. I can self-regulate, but I don't need you to tell me to calm down.
Exactly.
I can understand law enforcement pulling up to a scene and they're wanting everybody to calm down. But don't just walk up to me when everybody else is out here going off and tell me to calm down. I need you to, do it. And that's the same when you're in an office setting and say you have you're trying to settle a dispute between 2 employees. And as in management, you should never take anybody's side. You should try and calm and diffuse the situation, and then maybe take them separately and then talk to them, and then come back and talk to the group collectively. But, I've been in management for 30 years, and it's, you have to actually get to know
de-escalate.
How to de-escalate properly. De-escalate. Because, you could be adding fuel to the fire by walking in and demanding you calm down, because you may be, talking a little bit louder, but this person may be passive aggressive and being just as nasty as they want to be, but they're saying it softly.
You know what they teach in management?
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
When you're dealing with a person who's up here, like how you said, Miss Jack, you don't like people to yell at you. what brings them down in a lot of cases, if you stay right here with your tone.
Stay there.
You stay right here with your tone. And they can be up here. You could be burning mad because they up here. But when you stay here with your tone, and I know that works because I work in a hospital full of veterans and I deal with them and I talk to them face to face and they be burning mad
for
at
no
something
reason.
that one of my possible in the past when I used to have clerks may have did to trigger them. But when I stay here, they come down to meet me, and then we can have a conversation.
Calm conversation.
And the other thing too.
Go ahead.
The other thing too, guys, is that to your point, DJ Kitty, when I'm in a situation with someone who is upset, the first thing that I do is acknowledge. I validate what they're feeling. I'm like, listen, I know you're upset. I know that you were provoked. If I did it, I'm like, okay, I know I provoked you. Or if someone else did it, I'm like, and it's like, okay, well, but I'd like to, help work through this if we can in this moment, or maybe we need to take a break, whatever it is that you tell me what you need. I let them kind of, like you said, the self-regulating. But I think it's important to just, to your point, DJ Kid, acknowledge, don't be dismissive. Acknowledge that the person is upset and acknowledge, if you know why they're upset, acknowledge why they're upset.
Yeah, that's why we can't have when during teaching people how to communicate with each other. You really got to understand and acknowledge the other person's side of what you're talking about. We having a two-way conversation, so I'm listening to what you're telling me. You also have to listen to what. So if you're just automatically dismissive, it's like, why am I talking to you? You're not listening to me, or my issue is not as serious as you think yours is. So you just be like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about what you said. No, that's the worst thing to tell somebody.
The reason why people are yelling is because they don't feel they're being heard. They're raising their voice so that you can hear them. Exactly.
Some
so
may
that you
raise
can
their voice out of pure
ignorance.
Well, not even
right.
You got to be louder than everybody else in here all the time.
Think it's ignorance. I think sometimes you see people raising their voice because they don't want the situation immediately de-escalated. They want to continue with the rah. Yeah, they're provoking to try and get it out of you. And then when you remain calm and they see that they can't get it out of you, they can't get that
response
effect,
the reaction that they want.
Right.
That's
and for the radio world, I'm gonna say this is Miss Morningstar. I know it sounds like we kind of sound like, well, this is how you do it, this is how it's done,
No,
but we know in reality sometimes you may clap back at that person.
Exactly.
Just realistically. Let's realistically. So not all the time. I understand that's the proper way to do things.
Yeah.
And yes, in organizations and businesses, yes, you want to keep your job. You want to be able to
de-escalate and then resolve the issue.
De-escalate to resolve issues. But I do understand we are human and that we do sometimes match energy. I'm good at matching energy.
I have an aunt. She always matches
I'm
energy.
Very
she
good
has
at
no
energy.
middle.
But I don't like to. But I can't.
Right. Exactly.
So I want people to understand that yes, we are having this conversation and we're identifying triggers and we're just talking through it. And we're encouraging people and giving them different avenues to try for yourself. You do what works best for you, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to make it home.
Correct.
You want to be able to make it home in one piece. And you want to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be okay with yourself.
Absolutely.
1000%, Kitty.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yes, we do match energy, but
I used to wonder when people would tell me, I just went and smoked me a cigarette and I calmed down. Me as a non-smoker could not figure that out. Like, what do you mean? Until I realized that you're walking away
Yeah.
They take
Yeah.
away.
You
That's
doing
the
something
point.
to soothe you.
Calms them. That's how they
Yeah, like a
self-soothe.
pacifier.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what you need to do. I'm not advocating for smoking, but if that's what you do and that's how you calm yourself down, then that is your way of minimizing it. So we're
Might be
just
your
giving you
piece.
Do something positive, you know, and walking away, there's nothing wrong with walking away.
Absolutely.
Somebody has to tell the story.
that is
Absolutely.
actually the best thing to do,
Somebody.
really, is to
Yes.
walk
Absolutely.
away.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Remove yourself from the situation.
remove yourself.
Absolutely.
That's why I said from the beginning, that's why I don't talk to MAGA, because
Hmm.
what is the point?
We
You know,
Hmm.
rarely talk to
and
them. Yeah.
one day they may come and say, you know what? And I've actually had people come and call me and say, you know, I've been thinking and doing my own research. You know what? You're right. I had to let them get there because I'm not about to argue with you.
Correct.
You're not mentally prepared to not that I'm on any other level, but if you're not mentally prepared to receive
Correct.
where I'm at, then I
Right.
have to let you get there. I can't force you.
Exactly.
I'm not, no means no. And I'm not gonna force
And
you
and
to
I'm
do
telling
anything.
you, that's an acquired skill to be able to do. It's not easy to get there in life
It's
and be
not.
able to just do that smile you can do and just say, okay, and walk away.
Yeah.
Crazy smile.
You know, I
It
try
ain't
Just
not to
saved
look
your life.
crazy, but you know, sometimes you don't even have to smile. Sometimes you can just look, and I can't. I'm a Capricorn. I cannot help my facial
Me
expression.
neither.
But you
Not at
shall
all.
know if I'm not happy about it. But you know, I
Immediately.
have gotten to the point, you know, different stage in my life where I just said, you know, do you, boo boo? I have things to do tomorrow, and it doesn't involve going back and forth with you. Now,
Right.
I am not a saint by any means, and I'm on the radio, so there are words that I don't use here. But if you come to TikTok and you come to our Saturday show and you tune in, you will hear a completely different DJ Kitty. Because if
facts.
you come in my live and you are MAGA, God bless.
You know, one thing that I've noticed or perspective that I have is like, because we're talking about triggers, so clearly we're talking about emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Emotions are like a fire, okay? And imagine like you're in your house and you know where the door is and you know where the window is, you know where all the exits are. But when you are in a fire, a lot of times you can panic and you can forget what you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this thing that I use. It's called panic and run or wait and see. Now, if you panic in the fire and forget what you know, you forget where the door is, you forget where the windows are, and you'll basically be consumed in that situation. But if you take a moment just to wait and to remember what you know, remember that your choice is your power. Remember that whatever it is that they're offering you, whatever it is that they're trying to project on you, you don't have to accept it. You don't have to receive it. Use your choice. Remember where the window is, remember where the door is, and get out so that you're not consumed by the fire.
I love your analogies.
That's
Really
great.
do.
Good
They're
stuff.
always so good. Yeah.
Right on time.
Right on time. But it's the truth though, you know, because you are in a panic situation. When you're arguing with
Mm-hmm.
someone, you're not in a calm situation where you have time to think,
Not at all.
especially if someone is, you know, rah-rah and they want to, you know, they want to
Right.
get, and they're not even trying to hear you because they've already made up in their minds what it's going to be, and you're going to listen to me, and
Hmm.
I have to step back. Let me go open this window and walk
Right.
through the door. I'm gonna
And
open it
that's that,
where
yep,
spirits can go out.
Free
But I'm
myself.
walk
yep.
through
And
yes.
that's exercising your choice, which is your power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, the
absolutely.
last one, we kind of talked about a little bit of the last one. The last one is you got to set your boundaries. You got to establish clear limits with people on what you will not tolerate. And then develop a plan with specific steps to take when you feel triggered, meaning what to do once you get triggered, including
Exactly.
contacting a trusting person, practicing grounding techniques, or seeking professional help. So, Kitty, I know you always talk about grounding yourself, but setting limits and boundaries on people. If it's a people, I said, if it's a people, if it's a person, you set your boundary with that person. If it's eating too much, you set your boundaries on eating, depending on the circumstance, you learn how to set the boundaries with it so that you don't get triggered. If you tell somebody to their face, hey, when you speak to me a certain way, I get like this, you're setting that boundary. Can you please not do that? Can you please not raise your voice when you speak to me? You set the boundaries with people so they know how to interact with you and how to treat you. And then you develop a plan. Hey, look, the next time you come at me wrong, I'm just going to have to bow out and walk away, because that is what's going to keep me
Exactly.
from putting my fingers on you. And I don't want
Not
that.
fingers.
Pause.
Not fingers. Not paws, not fingers. Neither one of them. Neither one of them. Now that you say that, and I'm gonna Reggie, I know you were next, but I'm gonna say it really quick. And we got about 7-8 minutes.
Sure.
Our children, and I'm thinking about my grandson, and he's always my little shadow. They are learning to set boundaries as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they come and they have these expectations, and they will ask, hey, can I go here? Can I go? That's, I don't know about anybody else's, but mine is this kid wants to go somewhere every day. So we've had to set boundaries on, I'm so serious, and he doesn't want to go anywhere, like to the park. Can we go eat hibachi? Do you know how much hibachi is? Yes. Say,
where your money, little fella?
Where is your money? Go get a job. Anywho. But I'm setting boundaries with him, and I'm teaching him how to set those boundaries also. So this is a really good experiment that you can do with your kids, your young adults, and help them to see how to set those boundaries as well. Because I know for a fact, I don't know about anybody else, but high school was hard for me. Not the classes. The education part was easy. That it was dealing with people.
That was
hard time dealing with people. It was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how to set those boundaries. So now is a great time to teach our children that it's okay. They can have boundaries as well.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that in there.
You know what? I want to piggyback off of you, Kitty, because I agree, because it helps them develop boundaries when communicating with you as well.
Yes.
As a parent, because there have been times where, I notice, and it's because of those conversations and boundaries that I've set with my child, that she may come to me after I might have crossed the boundary. In speaking to her, maybe I was angry or yelling, and she came and talked to me. She said, Mommy, I didn't like when you did this. When you said this to me, it made me feel this way. Or, Mommy, I don't like when you do this. And it makes me reflect on what I'm doing as a parent, because we ain't always right, and what I need to do better to correct those. So she learning her boundaries.
She set a boundary, and she developed her safety plan.
Now, when it comes to school and stuff, yes, I'm pretty sure she is, because I was a child in high school. Yes, that's hard.
It was hard.
When it comes to your friends and stuff, you want to, but
like you,
it's going to carry you through life. As you go to college and as you grow, you have to set boundaries. No matter who it may offend or hurt, you got to know your boundaries. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Reggie.
No, I absolutely agree with all that, and that's really great. And again, just to piggyback off of what you guys are saying, and again, there's this popular kind of phrase that we navigate through life, and it's like, well, you made me upset or you made me mad. There's a thing in business that is called offer and acceptance. Okay. And when there's a scripture that I kind of like to use when Jesus was on trial, and Pontius Pilate said, don't you know that I can have you basically, taken out? And Jesus said, you only have power.
Hold on just 1 second. Let's all go on mute, because I'm hearing feedback. Except Reggie, not you, Reggie. Go ahead and go.
You only have the power over me that I give you. So my point is this, is that even if someone offers you the job, you don't have to accept it. If someone offers you the loan, you don't have to sign the papers. If someone comes with their energy to offer you anger, you can choose. You can make a different choice. And that's why I always kind of point to the fact that your choice is your power. You don't have to accept what someone is offering you. And the other thing that I'd also like to just point out, and then I'll land, is that a lot of times also when triggers happen, they also come up so that we can, to your point, Ms. Jack, they also come up so that we can develop more of the process of our healing in the way that we respond to those triggers. It's kind of like, when you have the test in school and you don't pass and you have to retake it. The triggers come back sometimes because the way we reacted to them the first time, there was a better way that we could have reacted. So we didn't pass the test. So life brings it back again. Really, school is a mirror of just, the process of life. And so that's another thing. It's kind of a notification. It's like, okay, I'm getting this notification. What is the best response so that I can go, into the next grade or pass this challenge? So
I love that, and you're absolutely correct. Taking the time out to really understand yourself, to me, is the most important, vessel. If I don't understand me and how I want to navigate through this thing called life and where I want to go, and really take a deep dive and know what I want to accept, then I'm not going to be any good for anyone else.
Exactly.
I really appreciate this topic, Shanique, Mrs. Jack. You can go ahead and come off mute.
Okay.
This was a great topic. I hope that everyone learned and can really do some soul searching, because no one's exempt. We're all going through our own share of trials and tribulations and understanding where we lie in this world. Mm-hmm. So that was a great topic. And I like that. I can't wait to see what else you come out. You always come up with something that
she does.
makes us think.
Always with the bangers, man. Always with some bangers. For sure. Absolutely.
It's life.
It is.
It is.
We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm,
I want to say to everyone, we've got about 30 seconds left. Thank you so much for joining our friends, our family out on YouTube. Thank you for joining our family in Holly Springs, Memphis, and those who are listening. Thank you for joining. You guys have a wonderful day. You are loved. You are valuable. Go ahead, Reggie. Say it. You are loved. You are valuable.
You are valuable. And listen, don't give anyone your power. Keep it for yourself.
Yes. Miss Morningstar?
Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Hump day.
Hump day. I'll see you guys later. And hey, y'all. It's DJ Kitty.
And Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.
Hey, y'all. It's DJ Kitty.